Hello, my wonderful viewers. Welcome to my platform. This is Linda's TV show. If it is your first time of coming across this channel and you like what you see after watching, please subscribe, put on your notification bell, set it to all notification. In that way, you'll be able to get notified each time I upload a new video, even those without notification. Here we react to all forms of videos, international and local. Every Saturday by 2 p.m. we have our interaction section. You are free to call in to air your opinion about the happenings in our society. Invite your friends, share my videos with your families and colleagues. Do not keep this information to yourself. Myself, I will be sitting down here to watch this video together with you from the beginning to the end. Then we'll go to the comment section and leave our comment, our opinion about the video we watch constructively as we watch this video, my people.
Begin with that meeting that did not hold. What happened? What are the reasons why that meeting was called off?
Well, obviously, there was a need for the president to travel. And so we had to wait for him to come back. And he'll be back by Saturday.
What was the agenda of the meeting, Governor?
That's it. It was actually supposed to be a very special meeting with the president. And the agenda is dynamic. And I don't think it's my duty to actually explain the full details of the intent of the meeting. But sincerely, it's a high-level meeting at the level of the leadership of APC.
But can we get an idea of maybe it's about a convention or it's about the issue of the zoning? Because I know members and leaders of the party are divided over these issues. First and foremost, can you tell us that maybe it's around the issues surrounding the convention or it's about zoning?
Well, it may be both, but the president has the final say because we have a structured leadership. I think it is in the spirit of allowing room for further discussions and deliberations that there was a deliberate shift of this meeting. But I think there's an internal mechanism that governors and other stakeholders of the party are actually meeting to see that by the time the president is back to take that meeting, we would have an effortless reconciliation of any challenges if we do have.
So can you confirm to us tonight that there are moves by leaders of the party to shift the date of the convention?
Well, the president have said the convention would hold. Again, like Senator Hope Uzodimma said, if it becomes imperative that there has to be a little shift, then it's allowed, particularly when it's within the ambit of the law. But as of today, I have no indications that that will happen. But the president will come back at that meeting that we are going to hold with cement all these concerns. But don't forget, APC is a very gargantuous party. Definitely every little issue is being dramatized beyond proportion. In one single night, all of these issues that are being bantered will come to an end, and the party will have a focus and direction, and will go through the convention and come out stronger and better. And I've always said this.
One will imagine that a convention of this magnitude, especially for a ruling party, we understand that as at yesterday, there were plans to release the different committees to work on the convention, but that has been delayed. Nothing has been heard about that. Perhaps linked to the possibility of the disagreement in the ranks and file of the leaders of the party about the convention date and some of the issues that have been raised. Is it?
Yeah, but there's a socio-industrial housekeeping going on. And so that takes some time. And that will allow us to actually clean up the house very well as we move forward. So this little break is to allow that happen. And I can tell you it's tactical, it's strategic, it's technical, and it's the right way to go. But just watch out, you'll see how we'll come out of the convention. Definitely, there's always a tradition. So once you're a big party, you're likely to have challenges towards this kind of period. But once you're done with these challenges, then you're ready to go. This country, as it were, can't even afford a change of government because Nigeria cannot continuously and perpetually be in transition. And so we need to mature the ruling party, and that's why I moved from PDP to APC, just to also add my own voice and experience to build up a national party that will actually bring value to this country. We cannot continue to run this cannibalistic party and process where the failure of a ruling party is the success of an opposition party. So all you do is to see how it fails. So the national growth fails. If you look all over the world, nations that have really made progress are nations that have had a very stable government, a very consistent and long-term leadership. But for a third world country to run a first world democracy is quite primitivistic. It's just like the lifestyle we live in Nigeria is a first world lifestyle in a third world economy. So there's a disconnect. There's a broken corporate personality in this country. And until all those will be addressed, if we don't, you continue to have this situation. And that's why I have moved to the center, to socket to the center, to really add my own strong voice to the credibility and stability of this nation. Because the young people are watching, and I'm seeing that politicians are beginning to play politics with their future. Politicians keep themselves busy with politics year in, year out at the expense of their future. And so if we don't do something, it gets to a time they say, look, sorry, we've got to take over our country. And that's the beginning of civil unrest. Those who have to see beyond the divisions of party lines and look at Nigeria as a nation. We have to do that. Honestly, that's the way to go. Just look at the newspapers. Just go to the internet. Everything you read about Nigeria is war. It's this person has poured acid on this one has kidnapped or has killed. How would you call any investor to come to a country like that when we use our own mouth, our own print media, our newspaper to demarket the country? I think sometimes I shudder with pain, and I would just really wonder if this is really the way to go as a nation, particularly when Nigeria represents the growth, the future, and the direction of the black man in the world.
So if you look at what is happening in your party, those whom you will call the pessimists, who had thought that your party, according to them, criticized your party, that is a bit not organized, and as a ruling party, not being able to put its act together. You coming from the PDP governor, you might be wondering that things perhaps, based on what the PDP will criticize your party for, that maybe they handle things better. Are you disappointed about some of the things that you have found that are not properly put together?
Well, I'm not disappointed. When you're dealing with a party that is in control of federal and predominantly almost 60% of the states, as it were, you are bound to have this kind of challenges. But they are just normal in politics. They are just routine. They will come to pass. And that's what I think. There's nothing extraordinary. The day President sits with us and give a direction, all of us will align. This is happening because Mr. President wants to be a father. I want to hear all shades of opinion. He's listening to everybody. Everybody has access to him as governor and at leadership level. But ultimately, when the food densification occurs, he will give a marching order. We will all align, and peace will come. And we'll go in as one united party and just march out through the process. I know that's the way it will go.
So give us a sense of what you make of what Governor Yahaya Bello said today, that the North Central is marginalized as far as the rotation of power is concerned in the country. And he gave a history of 1960 to date and how the North Central has not really benefited as far as the leadership, democratic leadership is concerned in this country. In fact, he said that the North Central is more deserving of the presidency than the Southeast region. If that argument is tenable for you, then it may have ruled someone like you out in terms of qualification in the light of rotation. What do you make of what your colleague Governor Yahaya Bello said today at the Villa?
Well, that's why it's a party. That's why we are coming together to discuss. So if you look at my colleague's analysis, he has a point. The North Central has indeed been, it's not had its own fair share of the seat. Unfortunately, the people from the South will be looking at it as an issue of rotation between North and South. So the North, when it's the third of the North has also recognized the fact that the North Central needs to have a go at the office. So I want to support Yahaya Bello, that he has a point. Incidentally, the South will also be looking at it like, well, the North Central is in the North. So let the North Central has its own fair share within the size and the pocket that is provided for the North. So I think for me, my ambition is not defined essentially by zoning. I believe in zoning because we are a very ethnically divided nation. And so I think it will be very insensitive to refuse to customize democracy to reflect our ethnic affinities. However, as a governor from Cross River State, from the South-South, I believe that we need this strong statement that Nigeria, making progress and moving forward, would also try to look at the values in a small office and small allocations we have received as a government and try to look at what we have put down. So when you do progressive footfalls of what we have done, then the economic footprint of our handwork should also be a part of the discussion, even as we table zoning.
So I come back quickly to the issue of the zoning, the presidency, and 2023, to perhaps the manner in which the party is handling things. And you have said that when the president speaks, he will give direction. Was that the meeting? Was it supposed to help the party decide on issue of consensus? Is that being put into consideration, especially for the leadership position in the APC?
Oh, definitely, definitely. When you meet with Mr. President, you are meeting with the final authority. You can't come out from there with issues hanging. So definitely all of these issues were supposed to have come up. But again, I cannot just completely speak about the entire provisions of what was supposed to be discussed today. And again, the president has some of his own issues and considerations, some things which are still within his chest, which would only have come out if the meeting have held. And basically, that's why I came into Abuja. But let me say it again and again. This country has to remain united. We have to be strong and united. And there are certain things that underpin the unity of a nation. Fairness, equity, and just being sensitive and providing a shoulder for your weaker brother to lean on. This country must recognize the fact that when there's injustice, when there's a consistent oppression of one group over the other, it can only take a while, never forever. One day, it will reach its maximum carrying capacity and things will start falling apart. So to avoid that, the president understands that clearly. And that's why he's taking his time. He has to hear everybody before he comes up with a final decision. And if you know Mr. President, he will take the path of righteousness. He will take the path that is just. He's known for his decency. So I supplicate for clemency. I supplicate for understanding by all party faithfuls that we must all stay and wait on the president. If he's gathering a lot of information, and that will help him in the decision-making process. And we're joining him. He's not taking decision for us. He's taking decision with us. And that's what he's known for. So let's wait for the meeting. Don't just get worried. I don't feel frightened about the challenges of APC, as it were. Remember, I crossed from another party to this party, so I'll be pussyfooting as not pacing. I won't go aggressively because I don't want to actually collide with anybody. I also don't want to overtake. I want to follow the process with a respectable distance. And that's why I'm very calculative, even in the choose and choice of my words.
So, to get it right, all decisions relating to who becomes the national chairman of the party and the way to go for the party, whether or not the party is going to change the date of the convention, lies solely in the hands of President Buhari. And that is when it comes back before he makes that decision.
It lies solely with the president and the governors and other key stakeholders. That master meeting will unlock all this and open a vista of peace and creating a very harmonious and commodious atmosphere for APC to hold her convention. And I know that will happen.
So let's get it right, Professor Ayade. So those of you who are supposed to meet with the president today, you are a delegation from the APC Governors Forum, the Progressive Governors Forum, a delegation that is asked to meet on behalf of the governors with the president to make this decision. Is that right?
Well, I represent the South. And if we had met, they would have known all those who are invited to the meeting. At this point, I know that I was invited on the strength of my position as driving the leadership of the South. That's why I was there. And my responsibility from the perspective of politics is to articulate the position of the South in this entire complex issue. What is complex about it? The issue of zoning, whether north or south, whether which place has the bigger vote, and where we are likely to be able to produce the presidency, depending on where we zone to. But at this point, as somebody who is representing the opinion of the South, my position will be articulating what fits the interests of the South, taking into consideration all the other key stakeholders who are maybe longer in APC than myself. We have to consult with them and take a position that fits us as a people. Bearing also in mind that whatever our interests must also meet the aspirations and yearnings of the unity and oneness of this country, which to me is the bigger consideration above every other thing. I wish people were like me. I wish people were like me. These things, if we want to have it, just have it. Let's have peace. Let this nation move away from politics to research and innovation. I'm just tired and sick of politics. And you, the press people, have not helped. I wish I was being cross-examined on thermodynamics or physics or what I've done in my state. I would rather be more comfortable with that than politics. This is a third world nation. We've just run the country aground with politics. The young people are watching us. Every day we're on TV, it's politics. When can this country talk about research and engineering? People are doing inventions. Go to internet, go to TikTok. If you look at TikTok in China, you see people inventing small technologies, bringing new cultivars, new breeds. Look at the shame. China today has planted 2 million trees, cocoa. China will be a net exporter of cocoa in a country that otherwise does not produce cocoa. China is a net exporter of cassava and yam from research. And here we are in a third world country. All we know is elections and politics. When will we outgrow this? 61 years after, we're still acting as if, because the access to power and money lies in politics. The real industry in Nigeria today is politics. Why would we be like that when the whole world is looking at us? I think it's really very, very sad. And I would like to come here on this platform to speak more about the future of this country. Let's speak more about what Nigeria can do. And that's why I coined a new word.
Governor,
Afrosionism.
We are due for a break.
Thinking Afro,
but
thinking
in this
African.
next half, you will have the opportunity to speak about your agenda. I know you have an agenda for 2023 and what you hope that this country should look like. Then we'll be able to engage you and what you have done in Cross River State, whether or not the Nigerian people think that is you're deserving to lead this country. We'll get to that. But of course, we need to also discuss those who want to lead this country. And a big question here is, what exactly is driving you to wanting to become Nigeria's president? Why do you think you are the best man for the job?
First, I've only offered that if it becomes available to the South or to the South, as it were, I'll be willing, if it's the opinion of my party, to put myself forward. Experientially, I have served as a senator and I have served as a governor, as a second-term governor. I'm equipped with sufficient experience to navigate the challenges of the Nigerian political economy, based on my experience, to be able to bring and usher in a new corridor of hope and prosperity for this country. Nigeria is blessed with so much natural resources and so much human resources. What has actually been lacking is leadership and followership. And to manage these two, to have the full harvestation and full value of the natural resources and human resources, it requires experience. And that's the experience that I'm bringing to bear.
Great. So Let's talk about some of the experience that you're talking about. First and foremost, you asked for a cross-examination. We don't cross-examine on the program, but we'll try to go through with you with some of the things that you've done and perhaps look at what you're capable of doing. Let's look at your record on the issue of rule of law and the sensitivity to the freedom of speech and that of expression in your state. There are clamor to lift the ban on the activities of civil society organization, and there are allegations of those who are spoken and they have found themselves behind bars in your state because of their voices of dissent. And these are some of the issues that have been raised on your profile as a person, as a leader in your state. How do you think these will pan out or rub off on your willingness or agenda of wanting to become Nigeria's president?
Well, I'm not aware of what you are saying because essentially in Cross River State, if you get to any of the platforms, they write whatever they want to write and nobody has ever given a hoot. But if somebody chooses to join a protest against federal government and federal government arrests the person, and if you look at his own data and information, even on his own web page, he has detailed information and pictures where he participated in a riot, and government arrests him therefrom and prosecutes him. How can that be Ben Aya? The federal government versus federal government was clamping down on everybody. That's the only story I know related to that. Otherwise, we don't have such issues at all. In fact, since I've been a governor, there has been no political killing. There have been no political crisis leading to two parties clashing. I have a very refined approach to politics. If you think you know too much, just have it. I have never fought back. My political philosophy is politics with ethics. Everybody knows that. And I believe in the overplus of kindness to an enemy. Indeed, I practice reverse vengeance. So I've never had a situation where I needed to confront somebody because he wrote differently. Somebody recently just calculated how much I have budgeted for a project and calculated that all of that money has been taken. I flew to India to inspect the transformers and equipment that were being shipped for my Chinapa power project. And somebody said I took money to go and hide in India. Somebody said all sorts of social media story. How can you follow those kind of cheap story I want to follow up? No. I have risen above that. And don't forget, any of your critics is below you, is completely beneath you. What you must also know is that a governor comes under extreme persecution. And in a relationship between two unequal partners, the stronger partner is always seen as...
Thank you so much, my wonderful viewers, for watching this video together with me from the beginning to the end. Like I said before, if you like what you see here, if you like what I do in this platform, as you have finished watching this video, please hit that red button that says subscribe and put on your notification bell to all notification. In that way, you'll be able to know when I upload a new video. Share my videos, leave your comments in the comment section constructively. Until I meet your way again in my next video, I still remain your Linda's TV show. Bye-bye.